Hello, my name is Derek from Tomcat Gas Training, and the video you're about to undertake is a gas tutorial on gas appliance servicing. Now, this tutorial is designed for trainee gas engineers, or even gas safe registered engineers could have a look too. So if you're not a gas safe registered engineer or a trainee, why are you watching this video? Because remember, you have to be gas safe registered to be able to work on gas. Now, this video is on servicing, so the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a visual inspection of the gas meter, the carcass and all the appliances before we've even touched the appliances. So I've got 3 trainees to help me along the way, so let's get on with it. So the first thing we're going to be doing is a visual inspection where we're going to be walking around looking at the cat pipe, carcass and the appliances before we even start. But before I even do any of that, I'm going to be checking using my non-contact voltage indicator to make sure none of the appliances are live before we touch them. So this is the procedure on how we do it. Now, first of all, we find a live supply which we know is working. So this is a live supply, there's no switch on there. So I'm now going to switch on and I'm going to test and make sure this is working. So you can see that's picking up the live, the neutral, that's the earth, that's the live, that's the neutral. So it knows, we know now it's working. So we can go to all the appliances. The hob is just in front of us here, which is metal, so we could get electrocuted. So we can now check and see whether we get electrocuted from that, which no, and now we need to check and make sure this is still working, which it is. Across from the kitchen we've got a boiler, so we can now check the boiler. So that's not picking anything up, that was just me doing that. Okay, we can now go back to our known supply and check again. Okay, and then the last appliance we've got in the living room is the fire, which I don't think you ever get an electric shock of a fire, but you never know. So we now need to go back to a supply to see whether, so that's working. And now we need to go to the gas meter, check our gas meter. That's plastic. That's not going to beep, it's plastic. So we can now see we've got no power there. We need to check again. So now we know we're safe to touch everything. So first thing we're going to do is a visual inspection of the meter. Now we're looking for, is there a bracket and this meter secured? Are the shear bolts been sheared on the anti-tamper devices? Does the ECV falter off? Is there a labels on the meter and on the anaconda? Is the anaconda not stretched? Is there no signs of corrosion? And is the earth bonding to the correct regs? Now the first thing we need to do is make sure the appliances work before we even turn the gas off. So let's try this fire first. Let's remove the cover and expose the igniter. Well, that didn't ignite. Looks like the igniter doesn't work. No, igniter's not sparking. That looks in pretty poor condition, so it's a good job we're servicing it. So, first of all, that don't work. Let's go and try the hob. Okay, there's the hob. Let's give it a try. Well, at least we know we got gas. Okay, so that's all working. Ignition works. We need to do all the rest of the checks, but we're just checking to make sure they work. Next thing, let's go to a hot tap. Let's turn the hot tap on. To see if the boiler fires up, which it has done. So the boiler works. Okay. Time clock and stuff. Can't see a time clock anywhere. So we'll have to look at that. But at least the boiler comes on, that's the main thing. Okay, so we'll go through the service procedures for all the different appliances now. Okay, according to regulation 26.9 of the gas installation and use regulations, we don't need to carry out a tightness test when we're servicing, but we've got trainees here and we always carry out a tightness test. So Mark at the moment now, he's done his visuals on the meter, he's noted all his faults, hopefully, and he's now carrying out the tightness test procedure. We will be doing a tightness test before and a tightness test when we've finished, so we know we've got no leaks before we work and no leaks after. Even though the regulation says we don't need to do one, we are doing them. So that's the end of the tightness test, and as you can see from the results, there's no leak. Okay, so first thing we're going to do now, we know this fire is, the ignition's not working. I'm going to take the coals off, okay, and then have a look and see if it actually is sparking. Then we're going to strip it, we're going to do a fluid flow test, do an inspection inside, put it all back together again, and then do all our commission tests. Okay, so we're going to start taking them off. Now these, this is the fuel bed, these are the artificial coals. They're in pretty poor condition, so we'll be cleaning them up. Now, the best thing to do, we haven't got the manufacturer's instructions, but I'm going to have to download them. So the first thing we're going to do now is take pictures of where the coals are, so we can use those pictures, but I know they're in the wrong place. We can use those pictures to help us put the coals back. So the guys are going to come in, take pictures now, and then we're going to carry on. Oh, the ignition is sparking now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the gas back on and I'm going to see why this actually isn't coming on. So let's do that now. I can't actually hear any gas coming out. Oh, yeah, we've got gas coming out, but it's pretty rubbish. Yeah, it all needs cleaning up. So, what I have found is the injectors are all full of muck. The whole burner is full of muck. So we're going to take the burner out, we're going to clean it up, and then hopefully we're going to test and get it up and running. But it is sparking and it is lighting, but the flame is incredibly small. Okay? Okay, while the trainees are out cleaning all the stuff up, what they haven't realised is all the fire shields are broken and missing. So we've done all this work for nothing and none of them have spotted it yet. So I'm just waiting to see which one of them actually does spot that we can't keep this fire on because everything's broken on it. So we will be at risk in this fire. Filling the warning notice in, putting the stickers on, but none of the guys have noticed yet. To be fair, it's been me doing most of it and they've not had a really good look yet, so they're off cleaning all the coals up and everything. They've downloaded all the instructions, so let's see what happens. Now what we're going to do now is disconnect the gas supply here to get the tray out. Okay, so that went a bit tight and a bit crusty. That's the gas connection undone. Just a Phillips screw here. Which we don't want to lose. That's the tray out. Oops, that's all melted on. Don't want to lose that screw. So that's the state of the tray. So that's in poor condition. So the guys are going to give that a good cleaning up now. Okay, so they're going to take that off and give it a good cleaning up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is we're actually going to remove the firebox. So they're pretty stuck on there, but it's held on with two cables here. Now it's very important with these cables that they're in good condition, which these aren't, so you should never ever poke them back through the fire opening. You should curl them up, okay? Because what happens is they rot on the end, like this one has, so that's going to cause us problems when we come and taking it off and put it back on. So it's just a matter of undoing these two clamps and taking them off. It has come off, that's a good thing. Now we shouldn't have to, so you can see there where it's all corroded now, that's causing us the problems getting it out. Oh, got it out in the end. Now, this tape is just holding the bottom in, so we'll replace that tape later. Okay, now what we should do is come forward. Now we've never seen inside this fire before, so the guys are going to take the pictures now, taking off the cables. I'm now going to show us a video around the back. This is how we're finding this fire. Okay, now this customer has only just moved into this house. This is why they're asking us to do these checks. Okay, so let's get on with it. So this is how we've found this fire. So if we look down, ooh, look at that. And this is what we've come across, what we've come into. Okay, so this hasn't been serviced for a while, has it? So let's get this out, let's get it cleaned up and let's get on with it. So this is what we've found. All the debris in the bottom. We've got to check and make sure it's sealed all around, which it seems to be. Okay, we need to have a look up that chimney. See what we've got there. Down the sides. One of the things I have seen is it doesn't seem to be sealed there. Okay, gas pipe needs reprotecting because that's all come off. We need a good clean up and get rid of all those spiders' webs, and then we need to have a look up the chimney. Okay, so we've cleaned up and retaped the gas pipe. We've cleaned out the bottom. Now we have a massive big hole here, which we're going to have to fill in. We're just mixing some sand and cement now. And we need to check and see what the state of the chimney is up here. So that's the next thing we're going to be doing. Okay, so Sal's mixed a great mix, a dry mix for us, so we can fill in this big, massive big hole here. So that's the next thing we're going to do, is get this sand and cement in, get the big hole filled in, get a fluid flow test on, get it all back together again, get the spillage test done, get it all commissioned. Now you can see we have now completely sealed the bottom. All the sides have been sealed. We've checked all the top. We're now going to carry out our fluid flow test. Okay, now we're going to do a fluid flow test. Now if you look at our fluid flow test and spillage videos which we've released, it goes through all the procedure. We're going to warm this flue up first, and we're going to warm it up for 5 minutes. We're then going to try with a match, and then we're going to try the bomb. After we've done and tried the bomb, we're going to go around the house and check the route of the flue. We're going to go into the loft and we're going outside. We might be doing this 3 or 4 times. So let's get this flue warmed up. Okay, the flue's been warming up now for 5 minutes, so I'm just going to see if we've got a pull by just using a smoke match. So you can see there's a good pull, so we can now try a bomb. Remember, 5 meters cubed over 30 seconds if you've seen our other videos on fluid flow test and spillage. So we're going to do this one. The guys are all going to do theirs, and then we're going to look around the house. We're going to go in the loft, we're going to go in the bedrooms, we're going to go outside. So let's try it now.
Was it 5 metres cubed over how many minutes?
5 metres cubed over 30 seconds.
That's what one bomb does anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
5 metres cubed of smoke. That's pretty well, that.
So you can see it actually is pulling. Getting a bit carried away now. But you can still see it draw it back in.
Should I go outside and check?
Okay, let's go and check the route of the flue and see if we can see any smoke. Okay, we're in the loft. You can't see any smoke in the loft. You can only just about see chimney on the back at the back there. We've inspected it. There isn't any smoke in here, so that's looking good. We've checked the bedrooms. Everything's fine. Okay, the moment of truth. We just purged this through now, got it all, get rid of all the air. We're just going to light it now and see if this pilot actually does work. Hey, that's a good start. Now will it keep the burner on? Oh, look at that. So let's get these coals back. We've downloaded the manufacturer's instructions and then let's do all the rest of the tests. Coals are now on to the manufacturer's instructions. They've brought it back all cleaned up. So let's get the tests done. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how to gas rate using this E6 meter with the red and black buttons. So first thing we need to do is wake the meter up by pressing the red button. Once it wakes up, we've now got the index, and we can press the black button and start the stopwatch at the same time. So you ready, Sal?
Yep.
Go. So I'm just waiting for the reading now, and the reading is 0.543. So 6.543. So I'm going to wait 2 minutes now while the gas rating is fire, and let's see what it comes out at. Tell me when it's 2 minutes.
It is now.
Okay, so that's 2 minutes up, and we're now on 6.556. So that's our second reading. Let's have a look at this gas rate. So this was our first reading, 6.543. And this was our second reading, 6.556. And that was over 2 minutes, okay? So 6.556 minus 6.543 is 0.013 meters cubed, but that's only for 2 minutes. We need an hour. So 0.013 times 30 is 0.39 meters cubed an hour. We need to turn meters cubed an hour into kilowatts, so we do 0.39 times 38.7. The 38.7 is the calorific value of gas, what energy we've got in there at the moment. Okay, that could change, but hasn't changed for a while. Gives us 15.093, and that's megajoules per meters cubed. We then do 15.093 divided by 3.6. The reason why we do 3.6 is there are 3.6 megajoules in a kilowatt, and it gives us 4.19 kilowatts gross. We need to turn it into net, so we do 4.19 divided by 1.11, gives us a total of 3.77 kilowatts net. Now, the manufacturer's data badge actually said it was 6 kilowatts gross, so we didn't really need to do the 1.11. But that's what this turned out to on the gas rate, which made it undergassed. That was mainly because it had the 8 and 10 mil pipe coming all the way from the gas meter. That's gas rating. We're just going to do a spillage test, and then we're going to look at doing the burner pressure. So I've gone through what the manufacturer says, and it says to hold it down Okay, look like it passed to me. Let's sum up about this fire. So this shows the importance of having gas appliances checked every 12 months. And especially if you are buying a new house, to have your gas appliances checked before you move in. So the things we've found with this is, there's 10mm pipe, well it's 8mm actually, goes all the way to the gas meter here, okay? So when we've gas rated it, we just gas rated it, came out at, what was it,
3.48 net.
3.4 kilowatts net. What was it gross? Because it says
3.87.
because it said 6 kilowatts, so we've not got enough gas to go into it, but our burner pressure was spot on. Okay, now the biggest problem with this fire is there is no the fire retardant stuff here. The protecting shield for the back is missing on the sides and the back and the top, and this is showing signs of damage. Okay, but it's passed the flue flow test, it's passed the spillage test. Okay, so technically, are we classifying it as at risk or ID? Now, signs of scorching or damage is at risk. Okay, it's a heat shield, so it's at risk. Okay, because it's passed its flue flow test and spillage, so that doesn't make it ID. It is undergassed as well, so are we going to class that as ID?
Yeah.
Okay. Only if it affects the safe operation of other appliances. So at the moment we're going off, okay, classifying it as at risk, turning off the supply. We're going to turn it off here at the ped tap. We're going to fill our warning notice in. We're going to fill in all our paperwork to tell the customer that even though we spent all this time doing it, but it's good for the guy's portfolio. We've cleaned it up, we've tested it, and these are the faults we've found. It's going to need a new fire, or at least new parts here. This is quite badly damaged here, but it isn't cracked. Okay, it's just distorted and signs of scorching. So, but it's well undergassed anyway. So that's what we found with the fire. So let's see what we find with the hob. So we've had a bad start to this job, condemning the fire already. So we picked the hardest one first. Now we've got the easiest one to do is the hob. Now we're going to be taking measurements, checking to see if we've got any scorching. This is metal, so that should be good. We're going to be removing the oven. Now, all of you out there, be going, "Yeah, you don't remove the oven, you don't remove it." Well, yeah, we need to remove it because we need to see the connection. We've seen how bad the fire is. We've seen the gas connection coming into the fire is 10mm and it's run about 4 meters. I want to see what this gas connection is like on this hob, whether it's connected with a flexi hose, whether it's got a tap connector, and if I don't remove that oven, I'm not going to be able to know that. It's passed the second tightness test, perfect, no drop whatsoever, but that doesn't mean then it still isn't the wrong connection. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to remove the actual oven, we're going to have a look at the gas connection. We also need to check the data badge anyway to find out how many kilowatts it is, because they haven't got the manufacturer's instructions. Unless we've got bionic eyes, we can't do that without taking the oven out. So some of you will be whinging now, "He's taking the oven out." Well, I will be taking the oven out. Okay, we've now taken the actual oven out, and we can see we've got an electric cable right around the gas pipe, well, around the back of it. We've got the electric connections just dropping on the floor. We've got the oven, which is an electric oven, all insulated, sat on bits of wood. Don't know about that connection there. It's not leaking gas. So I've never seen a hob connected that way, but at least it's not a cooker hose or a tap connector, and it's got an isolation point. Okay, it's passed the tightness test. So is that accessible? Well, the manufacturer gives you a compression fitting anyway, so we've got to deem that's acceptable. So we can get all the information now off our data badge, and we can commission the appliance. Now we've done the gas rate. So I've just measured here, and this is 750. Okay, so normally a hob needs to be 760 combustible material. This isn't combustible. Okay, so we've checked under here, there's no scorching. We have got 45mm at the back, but it should be 50, but this is metal. So it says 45 if there's tile or a splashback, so that's okay. We need to be 300 from the side here according to the manufacturers, and we're 310. So we're okay on that. So this seems to be installed in the right place. Last appliance to look at in this property, we're going to be looking at this boiler. This is a Glowworm CXI combination boiler. One thing you never do with these is turn the main power off, because a lot of the time the board goes. We used to have these at the centre and the board went on them all the time. So we're going to be careful when we're servicing this. Now, we're not going to be completely stripping this because we're going to flue gas analyse it first, and if the flue gas analyzer readings comes up wrong, then we're going to have to make another appointment to come in and sort it out. Okay, we're just basically doing checks at the moment, kind of servicing, but we're not doing a full strip down service on here. We're not taking the burner out because I didn't know what appliances were coming across. I asked them what boiler they had and they said it was a white one. I asked them to take a picture of it and they took a picture of it like that. So this is what we're dealing with. So we're going to strip it, well, we're going to take the cover off, we're going to check inside, make sure there's no leaks. It's topped up to 1.7 bar, so at least we don't have to fill it up. And we're going to do a good visual inspection inside the combustion chamber, so let's get on with that. Now, according to this sticker, it's had its seal replaced, but whoever serviced it couldn't be bothered putting the date on, so we've still no clue when it was changed. Okay, so if you do change the seal on one of these boilers, you do get a sticker. At least put the date on so the next engineer knows what's going on. Now, this is in a pretty bad condition. Let's have a closer look. So we're taking the covers off now. Let's look inside a bit more closely. And we've got signs of it has been leaking in the past. I don't think, no, it's all dry. It's all dry. So, what the hell's going on here? So, that's not wet. So, but you can see something has been leaking at the top. So, I'm sure our tests will show whether the seals have gone on it. But I'm going to be sticking a screwdriver in there, see if it goes straight the way through. But something was leaking at the top by the looks of it. Possibly the flue. Okay, so we'll have a look, see what we can find. But at the moment, it's not looking good, this. I've just got the appliance up and running now, so while the guys are off gas rating, I'm just going to check and make sure nothing's leaking, or I can see anything leaking while it's running. I can't feel anything around the combustion seal. This is all dry, and so I'm assuming it's an old leak. Can't see any signs of anything new. This is the problem, isn't it? You're guessing when you get here. Why is it in such a bad state, and why are we guessing? Okay. looks in pretty bad condition. There doesn't seem to be any water leaks down at the bottom. So we'll just keep looking and keep testing, see what we come up with. This is the top of the boiler. This is where we're going to be doing our flue integrity to see if the flue is leaking. This is where we're going to be doing our analyzer readings. So we're just looking to see. So okay, that to me looks like it's the seal what's been leaking, but I don't know whether it's been repaired because it's not leaking now, but we'll soon find out when we do our integrity test. So while we're here, can we see whether it's, I can't even get my hand in, is it sealed? It's siliconed. So that's all siliconed up. Let's have a look at the flue outside. That could be one of the reasons why we've got water coming back. You see why they've done that, because it's too close to the boundary, but why have they gone so high? So at least it's sealed. Is it sealed on the outside? Oh no, it's got the factory seal, but they haven't actually sealed it. So while we've got our sand and cement, we might as well seal that as well. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so we're now analysing on maximum hot water. This boiler doesn't actually have a test menu to be able to put it in high and low. So we're looking for on this boiler a CO2 of, well, technically between 8.2 and 10.2, and we've got 9.1. Now, this is looking pretty good on the analyzer readings on maximum. So, flue gas analysing, minimum of 15 minutes time for analysing until you get a stable reading, to a maximum of 30. So, we could just about get in the probe. These are the way the cover's been made. So we're just going to leave it a little bit longer and see what it comes out at while the guys take all the pictures. So I'm trying to see inside the flue, see if it's rotten. The flue integrity test has passed, but it looks rotten to me. So we're looking for an oxygen reading of greater than 20.6, which we've got, and no CO2, well, a CO2 of less than 0.2, which we've got, and we've got no ratio whatsoever. So this is what we've had to do to get onto the flue integrity. So we've pushed that right inside the flue, so it is sampling in the flue. And those readings are passing, but what I've just seen outside, I think this flue needs replacing. Now this test, what Mark is doing now, is what's called the sweep test. So we've got the analyzer set on sweep test mode. He's going to do this for 2 minutes. He's looking to see if we get any CO coming in the room, so carbon monoxide. We need less than 10 parts per million, but as a guide, it does say if we get more than 3 parts per million to investigate. He's going to pay particular attention to the top here where the flue is to see if we are getting any products of combustion coming back into the room, especially where that seal looks like it was leaking. Okay, so it's passing all its tests, but that flue is in poor condition and is going to need replacing. So this is what we found. We take the flue off. It wasn't actually connected. Okay, so you can see inside the flue started to corrode. Okay, it's gone funny here where it started to rot through. Okay, and it's because when they put the plume kit on, they didn't connect it properly. So this flue is ruined. And this is what the problem was. It was coming through there and then dripping inside. So while we've not had the heated on, obviously, or while they haven't had the heated on, I don't know how long it's been off, customers aren't here, that's been the problem. So whoever originally fitted this boiler, this is quite an old boiler. It is a 05, so 2005, but you can see how it's rotted through. Now we're taking it out. You can see that. So this needs replacing. Well, I'm a lucky chap. Managed to get hold of a brand new replacement flue to get rid of our rubbishy one. And another thing I've just found out is it's exactly the same length, so I don't even need to cut it down. So let's get it back where it belongs. So now I'm going to install this replacement flue. First of all, I'm putting on the manufacturer's cover for the flue, which goes against the wall and the flue to make it look nice. I am going to be sanding and cementing it up. So making sure that it goes full socket into the elbow. Now there is no seal on the outside flue where the air comes in, just this securing clamp, which does need to be secured with 2 screws according to the manufacturer. So I'm just getting it in line with the old original hole in the flue elbow before I will drill the hole now and put the screw into the new part of the flue. So just putting that in now. Next I'm going to be sand and cementing up the hole. So just using a stiff mix so it doesn't all fall out. So new rules say it has to be sealed on the inside and the outside, which I'm now doing, making sure it's all the way around, and then I can put the collar back against the wall, make it look a bit prettier. Just clean up the excess. Now on the outside again, I am sealing the outside with sand and cement, and then I can put the manufacturer's seal back around that to make that look neater. And the job's now complete. You've just finished watching this video on servicing gas appliances. If you've liked this video, why don't you give us a thumbs up or leave a constructive comment down below. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, then get subscribing, and while you're there, hit that notification bell because we release videos every Wednesday. Well, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, let's see you next Wednesday. Cheers.